Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be working with stress and relaxation. So Yin Yoga, so nice and easy, so you don't have to stress about it. So we start. Please place a cushion or something under the base of your spine or the tailbone. And we're going to rest the hands gently on the knees. Let me close the eyes if you wish to. And just become aware of your breath, the gentle expansion and contraction of the body as you breathe. Be conscious of the support from the earth beneath you. And even if the eyes are closed, being conscious of the space that you are in. And coming up to your mind. Expanding the space of your mind beyond the limitations of your body or head. And expanding this space. Looking beyond your thoughts and resting deep, deep into the silence of your mind. And then when you are ready, slowly and gently opening the eyes. Welcome. Good, so today we're going to start at the back of the mat, as usual, but we don't have to have cushions. We're not going to come into hero position, we're going to come straight into the melting heart position. So we're going to separate the knees to the sides of the mat and just walk the hands forward until you can get the elbows to the floor, and bring the hands together in the center of the mat, and then bringing the head down to the mat, forehead and nose if possible. Relaxing your stomach, chest, the upper back. If you have tension in the neck, you can just gently lift the head and place it again onto the mat. Relaxing your hips and the lower back. Knees. Your ankles, toes and fingers. And focusing on the heart, resting gently within the chest. Supported by the earth energy beneath you, or the gravity. Just allowing the breath to be exactly as it is. giving all responsibility to the earth beneath you for the relaxation. Maybe gently releasing any tension you have in the shoulders, the elbows. Letting go of any stress you might have felt over the last few days or even today. Relaxing the chest just that little bit more, and again, if you feel any tension in the neck, just lifting the forehead just that little bit further forward and then relaxing back into the position. Watching each breath so it passes in and out of the body. Maybe repeating to yourself silently with each exhale, relax. 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 So we're gently going to bring the hands back to the knees. You can use the arms if you wish to gently come up. And bring the knees together in the center of that. We're then going to lie on the stomach so we come forward with the body. And we're going to separate the feet to the corners of the mat, coming into first crocodile position. So the elbows out to the sides, making sure that the lower arms are parallel with the short end of the mat and hands on top of each other, and then just resting the head onto the hands. Relaxing the neck as much as possible so you feel the weight of the head on the hands. Relaxing your chest. And again, releasing any tension you might have in the shoulders, the hips, the feet. Maybe taking a deep breath, slowly in, filling the body. Feeling how it lifts away from the floor. And then a long exhale and feel how you sink back into the floor and into the mat. Lower back relaxes just that little bit more. Good. Coming the feet together in the center of the mat. Coming into second crocodile as we lift the upper body away from the floor. Here we can use the elbows to just support, so we're up away from the floor. So the support comes from the shoulders to the elbows, so we can still be relaxed. And then we look down to a point in the center of the mat, just below the eyes. And we're going to bring one elbow to this point and then the other. Bring the wrists together and then rest the head into the hands. As if resting your head into the top of a flower. Again, relaxing with each exhale, so we become more and more conscious that every time the body exhales, it just relaxes naturally by itself. It's important when we feel that we've had tension in the body or we felt stress, that we don't try and push this away, because the effort of actually pushing it away in your mind leaves a shadow of the stress and tension. Just let it flow out of your body as if like water running off the body into the ground beneath you. Feeling the gentle stretch in the front side of the neck and the slight compression at the back of the neck. So we gently release this position, bringing the hands and the elbows to the mat, so the lower arms are resting on the mat, and then we bring the forehead to the mat. And we're gently going to lift the upper body until the arms are straight. And coming into sealed position. If this is difficult in the beginning, we can use a bolster, just to give ourselves just that little bit of extra support. And if it feels too much to be all the way up with the arms straight, of course we can have the elbows on the mat. Again, resting onto the bolster. The chest and the upper back relaxes. The head sits naturally on the top of the position. Relaxing the lower back just that little bit more. If you wish to, of course, taking that long, deep inhale. And then a long exhale. And relax your shoulders, so the support is coming from the wrists to the shoulders. Of course, at any point, if you feel like it's enough or it's just uncomfortable to be in this position, of course, bring the elbows back to the mat. And just support support from the elbows to the shoulders. And if you're on the bolster, it's just to allow the bolster to take the weight of your body. And then we're going to gently release the position and roll onto the back. Bring both feet into the buttocks, coming into happy baby position. So we're going to bring the knees into the chest and separate the knees so that we can bring the arms forward in between the legs. Take the sides of your feet and then gently lift the feet towards the top of the room. Ensure the neck is relaxed. The hips are relaxed. And don't worry if the body's shaking, it's just releasing tension. Remember here, we're not trying to pull the feet down, we just allow the shoulders to relax. Eventually the shoulders will come down to the mat as we relax. Conscious of the sounds that surround you and the space that you are in, and simply allow the sounds to be there without judgment, right or wrong. Just allowing everything to be exactly as it is. But we're gently going to bring the feet down to the buttocks. The soles of the feet together. I want you to hold your ankles. This is especially good for the guys who are in the class. Extremely good for the prostate. So we're just going to allow the legs to hang down in this position. Feel the shoulders are relaxed, so the weight of the legs is just gently stretching the shoulders. Neck is relaxed. Allowing the natural weight of the legs. It's really the only thing working here, the fingers as they hold the ankles. If you feel too much tension, for example in the hands, you can release both feet to the floor and just allow the hands to rest on the thighs. elbows relaxed, maybe moving the elbows just that little bit further away from the body. So again, we're gently allowing the weight of the legs just to create this position for us. Just for these last few seconds, just relaxing the shoulders just that little bit more, the hips, the lower back. We can then gently release the feet to the floor, and we're going to straighten the legs. And here we're going to take the bolsters, we come into a spinal twist. So what we can do first is to place the bolster on the right side of the mat, the long side of the mat. Top of the bolster rather, level with the top of the hip, and then bringing the left foot to the inside of your right knee. And then bringing the right foot beside the left. Good, so we're going to now cross the legs. So the left comes over the right. We're going to come into twisted root. So we're going to drop the left knee down to the bolster. And then open up the shoulders. And if possible, looking to the left hand. If this, of course, is uncomfortable for the neck, we can have a cushion under the back of the head if you wish. Just releasing any tension that we have here in the lower back, around the sacrum bone, the bottom of the spine here. Just relaxing the shoulders just that little bit more, the hips, again the lower back. Closing the eyes if you wish to. And then gently bringing the knees up to the center again. So we roll back onto the mat. Place both feet beside each other. And here we can just gently again press the heels into the floor so that we feel that the lower back comes squarely onto the mat. Again, the sacrum bone at the bottom of the spine, just above the tailbone. It's part of the pelvis as well. And we can bring the bolster to the other side. And again, having the top of the bolster and the top of the hip level with each other. We then cross the right leg over the left. And now we allow the right knee to come down to the bolster. And again, opening up the shoulders, if possible, looking to the right hand. And I forgot to say on the other side that if that is uncomfortable for the neck, of course, in the beginning we can look to the left hand. And having the full rotation through the whole of the spine will eventually become extremely relaxing. So here we're just allowing the natural weight of the legs. So we're not trying to push the knee down towards the bolster, we're just allowing the position to be natural. Maybe relaxing the neck just that little bit more, and the shoulders. Just feeling the weight of your body. And again, the support from the earth beneath you, gravity, earth's energy. Very nice. Good. So we gently release the position again, so the knees come back up to the center. We uncross the legs, bringing the right foot beside the left. You can bring the arms into the side of the body here. So again, we're going to just press the heels into the floor so that the lower back comes squarely to the mat. We then move both feet to the corners of the mat. And we're going to place the hands behind the head. And I want you to rest the head into your hands. Allow the feet to fall out to the sides so the hips are nice and relaxed. Checking that the fingers are relaxed. We're not holding the head in any particular way. Relaxing the chest. Maybe noticing that the breath is relaxed. Good. So we bring the feet together in the center of the mat again. So we're coming up to a sitting position. So we bring both feet into the buttocks. And we're going to gently roll over to the left. So we come up onto the hip. Here we can use the arm for support. We can just rest in this position just for a few breaths. And then placing the right hand in front of your chest. And we can straighten the right leg and just gently roll out of the position and coming up to a sitting position. Just noticing the resistance of the body to actually leave the floor. Good. We're going to come into butterfly. So we're going to bring the feet into the center. And we're have the feet approximately 10 centimeters away from the center of the groin. If this is not comfortable, of course, having the feet just that little bit further away and just allowing the knees to come down to their natural position. If you like, you can have a cushion under the base of the spine again here. This also helps to sit into the pelvis and help the whole body relax down into the position without collapsing. And at the same time, just sort of allowing the weight of the body to just bring you down towards the floor. So we're not trying to sit up here, we're just sitting into the position. Good. So we can bring the hands forward here, and we just rest the hands onto the floor. For those of you who are a little bit more advanced or feel a little bit more flexible, we can take a block here to the center, just in front of the toes. And I want you to relax down with the forehead onto the block. Still allowing the knees to be relaxed. But until this feels natural, we can just have the hands forward. It's not a competition to see who's the most relaxed in the room. Just placing the hands where you feel, okay, there I can relax. Relaxing the hips just that little bit more. Shoulders. If you still feel you want to come just that little bit deeper, we can place the block on the side and just bring the arms forward. Again, here we're just allowing the arms to be heavy, even if they probably disappeared out of the picture for you. Finding a comfortable position for the body. And then again, we can gently release the position. Just walking the hands back, we can remove the block if you've had one. And eventually, when you're doing this position, eventually your head will be down onto the toes. But this takes a little bit of time and practice and relaxation, of course. And as I said many times before, this sort of happens, or you can think of it as happening as like 1 millimeter weak in all of the different positions. Last week, I think I said that we would get about 2 centimeters more flexibility and freedom in the body. Well, now we get another 2 or 3. And so it goes on. So we just do it patiently, 1 week at a time, and be generous with your body. Good. So we're going to come into a spinal twist. So we're going to bring the left foot under the right thigh. And here I suggest, if you've had the cushion, to remove it. And we're going to place the right foot on the outside of the left knee. And what we want to do here is to make sure that the front of the knee and the front of the ankle are in a straight line. So as I said before, not too far back. It's not the idea. in Yin Yoga. And if it's not comfortable for you to be in this position, please have the foot a little bit further forward. So what we're going to do here is to bring the right hand to the floor behind your hip or the buttock on the right side. And here we can take the left hand onto the knee. And here we want the shoulder and the arm to be heavy, so the elbows falling down towards the floor, and that just sort of holds the knee into the position. And we can gently turn the head, not forcing the head in any way, just allow it to come to its maximum position, and just again sitting on top of the position. There's no effort involved here. And again, those of you who want to come just a little deeper into the position, you can bring the left elbow to the knee, and you can just hold the wrist with the right hand. Again, allowing the right arm now to be heavy, so that it just gently holds the position. During this position, you'll notice how, as the body relaxes into the position, the right buttock comes more and more squarely onto the mat. What's happening anatomically when that happens is it's just gently straightening the spine, so this allows more and more rotation. So if you haven't noticed already, you can probably turn the head just that little bit more. Again, we want to make sure that we're not forcing the position, we're not trying to turn the neck. Let's just sort of take it to its maximum position and then relax. And then we gently release the position. And we're just going to change sides. So now bring the right foot under the left thigh. Make sure you're not sitting on the foot, so not trying to get the buttock onto the foot. Again, it's not a competition, it's just to bring it to a comfortable position. What we can do though is make sure that the knee is straight forward from the hip, or that the upper leg is parallel with the short end of the mat. It's another way of looking at it. And then placing the left foot on the outside of the right knee. Again, we gently check that the ankle and the knee are in a straight line. And now bring across the left hand to the floor behind the buttock, the hip. And again, if you wish to, holding the knee with the hand heavy in the right arm, or if you want to come a little deeper, just bringing the right elbow around the knee and just holding the wrist. And now allowing the left arm and the left shoulder to be as heavy as possible. Before gently turning the head. Again, we relax the lower back. Each time we breathe out, just again repeating gently and quietly to yourself, relax. 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 Taking that deep breath again, and as we relax and exhale, just feeling if it's possible just to turn the head naturally just that little bit more. just a little bit more in towards the knee. Not up, just in. Ah, yeah. And we gently release the position again. Good. Okay, so gently bringing the right foot out to the right corner of the mat, and here we want to make sure that the buttocks are sitting at the back of the long side of the mat, and that the right toe is pointing towards the top of the room. It's very easy in this position, which we're going to practice, which is half straddle, that the foot starts to fall forward. So we want to allow it to be up in the air. This will give you an indication that you're not going too far. If you're going too deep into the position, let's say that I'm a little stiff here, then as you come forward, the foot will fall forward. So we want to use this as a way to just sort of judge whether we are going too much into the position or not. So in the beginning, what we can do is to just start to bring the left knee out to the left until you feel just a little bit of tension in the inside of the leg here, or the upper leg, and down to the knee. And then we turn the upper body towards the left knee so that we're trying to get the shoulders basically parallel with the front of the knee. And then we just gently come forward, and here what we want to do is to make sure that the right toe still looks towards the top of the room. And we come down onto the leg. Here again we can use a bolster or the block if you wish to, just to rest the forehead, especially if you have discomfort in the neck, or some cushions as Marlene is doing here. And just gently coming down. Eventually the left shoulder will be on the knee, and then we can bring the forehead down. Again, here we want to make sure the shoulders are relaxed. We're not supporting the body with the elbows. And of course, this beautiful stretch that we feel here, and also possibly in the lower back, helps us dramatically to get more into positions such as dragonfly or full straddle. It's just this gentle stretch here where a lot of us feel that we have this tension. So again, we're not trying to keep the foot up towards the top of the room. We're not sort of forcing the foot back like this. We're just allowing it to relax, and just having this consciousness that the toe doesn't fall forward. Good, so we gently release, coming up to the center. And here you can have a block close to you if you wish to. We can bring the left foot or the heel out to the corner of the mat. Right sole of the foot comes to the inside of the thigh in the beginning, and then we start to gently move the knee out slowly. So we want to do this slowly so that we can feel when this slight tension happens on the inside of the left leg here. And now turning the body now out towards the right knee, and then coming down again into the position. Again, we can keep an eye on the left toe, making sure it's not falling forward. Using the block if you need to. It's important here to relax into the position. When we think of stretching, we think of sort of forcing the body to do something it doesn't actually want to do. Alright? So we can sort of just do as little as possible and just watching all the time exactly what's happening in the body. Again, here making that long inhale, maybe feeling how the body lifts away from the mat. And then this long exhale and just feeling how we sink just a little bit deeper into the floor. Shoulders nice and relaxed. And then we release the position, coming back up to the center. Good. So I want you to face the short end of the mat, so we come in as gently as possible. And just have a bunch of cushions or a bolster. I've said a few times before, it's extremely useful to have these. And we're going to take a supported caterpillar position. So we first make sure that, again, the left foot is to the inside of the thigh and that the right leg is straight down the mat. Then take the bolster, place it over the top of the thigh, and we're just going to relax forward. And again, as I said before, this is not about reaching the toes, it's about placing the hands on the lower leg, taking as much support as you need. Good. That's excellent. And just allowing the neck to relax as well. Excellent. Again, use your breath here. Allow the breathing to be natural without control, and just watching as every time the body exhales, it just relaxes just that little deeper into the position. And this might happen like 1/4 millimeter with each breath, but it does happen in every single breath. And that is why in the beginning it can be very healthy to understand this process by taking occasionally a long inhale and a long exhale, so you actually feel that as we relax back into the position. And as I said, this happens in every single breath, and eventually you'll find that you'll be able to be conscious of each breath that happens. Good, so we gently release the position. And of course we're going to change sides. So we make sure that the left leg is straight and the right sole of the foot comes to the inside of the thigh. Doesn't matter if it's the inside of the knee, that's fine as well. And again, we take the bolster and we place it over the top of the thigh. Place as many cushions or pile things up as much as you want so that we can relax down and relax the neck. I'm going to say it again. This is not about reaching the toes. This is about actually just relaxing forward and the neck. Sometimes when we're practicing even Yin Yoga, we feel tension in the body, and that's okay as long as you're not feeling pain. Okay, there's a very big difference between a sharp pain and just the feeling that something is stretching. So we're not trying to force the body to do anything. And as I said before, the more we practice Yin Yoga, the more we teach the body that it can trust us. Remembering that you are not your body and you're not your mind and you're not the breath. So when we're sitting in the center of the stillness of your mind, beyond your thoughts, then you are the observer. You're just simply observing everything. It's your surroundings, the sounds, the body, the breath, the mind, and just peacefully watching without judgment. And of course we gently release the position. We can remove the bolster. And you want to have a block somewhere handy, okay? And we're going to place both heels at the corners of the mat. And we're just going to lie down onto the back. Coming into the last position for today, which is supported bridge. So we have our little block or a bunch of cushions or some books or whatever you have lying around. And I want you to bring both feet into the buttocks. And gently again press both heels into the floor so that we can place the support under the sacrum bone. Again, this triangular bone just above the tailbone. It's very important that the pelvis is sitting on this position. Having the block, for example, higher up here into the lower back is actually detrimental to your body. So making sure that it's sitting squarely under the base of the spine here, or the pelvis. And then again, we move the feet out to the corners of the mat. And here we can place the hands under the back of the head and just relax. Feeling how the pelvis gently opens, almost like a flower towards the sun. Smiling gently to yourself. Just smiling because you took the time for yourself to do something for yourself. Just taking this last minute to experience everything that surrounds you. Watching the sounds, watching the breath, watching your mind, the body, the support from the earth beneath you. noticing the shoulders just that little bit more, the hips, the feet, the ankles, lower back, upper back, and the neck. Then bring both feet gently again into the buttocks. The hands out from under your head, placing the head on the mat. And then again, just gently pushing into the mat with the heels so that we can remove the support. And then return the lower back first to the mat. Once we're squarely on the mat, then we can stretch the legs out again and come into the last position, which is Savasana. Keeping anything away from the side of the body that might disturb you, maybe even placing a cushion under the back of the head or under the knees. Feeling the weight of your body. The stillness of the mind. Namaste.